Yeah, let's see. That you're not likable? Kana. Chantal, hi guys, I'm Judy, and today I'm going to be watching Oshinoko Season 2, Episode 7. In the last episode, we focused on Melt and his growth, and that was so beautiful. It really was. We saw the first act of the play, pretty much, and then the second that mostly focused on like the fight between, Melt and the other dude in the stage play between him and the dude that played Monme. I don't know why that name stuck with me. The actual name of the actor didn't. And Melt really showed his stuff. And I think now we're getting into the third act, which is where I think Aqua is going to, actually show up. And Akane, I don't know if it's going to include the big scene. Probably not, but we'll see what it does include. Let's get into this episode and what we're going to focus on in this one. I'm excited. Let's do it. Don't give up on your idols, and check out my Patreon to get full reactions of Oshinoko or reactions to other shows that you might like. Most importantly, though, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you do, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to let me know. Don't forget to support the original content, and let's get into it. This scene, I'm scared for it. I don't know if we'll have to deal with it this episode though. Are we still in the second act? Yeah, I think so. Nice kana. So she mentioned it. Oh, nice. Yeah, like no one could tell it was like a mistake or like something didn't work. Nice. Oh, that's nice. We just passed like to a different side of the stage, I think, right? Okay, we're focusing on Akane. Now she has to... Yeah, damn. They want her to act to all that she's worth. Okay. It's funny to me that they're just realizing this, like watching it, watching the actual show. Like they didn't touch on any of that in rehearsals at all. What is that get up? It's cool. The stage is very cool. Okay. Go Mel! You're going to face Princess Aya? By accident? Or not by accident, exactly. Wow, the stage is really pretty. Why did you call her Oni? You also have a horn. That you're not likable? And I just love Kana. She's so wonderful, the way she's reading. She's just so, I don't know, I just love everything about her. Yeah, we're going to go back to that. Okay, we're going to focus on the fight between them. Let's. Oh, it's she's acting, right? And she's known for being good at crying. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like a disillusionment when you meet your idol, you know? Oh, it's so sad that was ruined. Like, I'm assuming admiration to she ate the pepper because of Kana. They have a complicated relationship. And then you met her. That's so sad.
かなちゃん、緊張してるの？
私は
安心して。かなちゃんを選ぶことはもう決まってるから。
私がどうかしたの？
俺、かなちゃん、やっべ。
このオーディション、かなちゃんを選ぶことはもう決まってるって。何かの間違いだよね。かなちゃんはそんなズルしないよね。してたら何なの？それでいいの？いいに決まってるでしょ。仕事もらえるんだから。
How old are they?
要はお金になるかどうかだけ。いい演技する子役より有名な子役を使う方が視聴率が取れる。だったらそっちの方がいいでしょ。演技なんてどうでもいいの。
Oh, she sounds so frustrated though.
何よその帽子。私の真似なんかするな。
Oh, she's talking that like it came from hatred for herself, like dislike for maybe, yeah. But you know, she took it all out on Akane because Akane could see through to her, and she didn't like that. Well, that's really that sucks, but.
わからないから。たくさん勉強したよ。
That's how she started, you know, trying to analyze people and stuff and everything, pretty much, to understand. Exactly. But you can forgive her, I think, for... And the only thing she got these additions.
見て欲しかったんだよね。必要とされたかったんだよね。みんなと一緒に生きていこうと思ったんだよね。そんなのダメだよ。もっと身勝手で圧倒的な役者だったよ。
I get it. She liked the girl she was.
自分自身が眩しく輝く太陽みたいな演技してたよ。
Like Kana had to change herself, and Akane doesn't like that. That's interesting. Like she understands her a lot, very much. I mean, it makes sense because she's Akane and that's her thing. She understands people.
身勝手でかっこよくて、すごい。周りを全員食べちゃうような演技でしょ。
Damn.
見ててね。私もちょっとだけできるようになったんだよ。
Oh, that's really beautiful and kind of ironic.
だから一緒にぶつかってきてよ。
It all comes from admiration for who Kana used to be, and she wants to bring it out of her, and Kana thinks she hates her, and she does, but it's just the her that she became. And the thing is that Kana, though, hates her who she was to some degree because she was made to hate it. She has those stars in her eyes.
楽しい演技してくれるじゃない。
And like Akane is trying to show Kana like how she used to be. So she is judging her, but based on what she knows she can be, because she already saw that, because that is what made her want to act in the first place.
それはとても楽しそうな提案だわ。白黒つけ。
Kana.
なんで急に。
She can make the leap.
前に出た黒川に対し、有馬が一歩引くことで黒川の存在感が増す。黒子のように存在感を消し、舞台装置に徹する。作品的に正解。
But she's, you know, it comes with her own expense.
これが正しいの。黒川茜がいい演技をするなら、こっちはそれを立てる演技をしてあげるべき。
Yeah.
いい作品になるのがみんなの幸せ。
Exactly, she's thinking about everyone else but herself.
私のやり方。
And I mean, we see how it's good, but also we see how it's bad.
照らしてあげるから、もっと輝きな。違うよ。そうじゃない。私はかなちゃんと真正面からやりたかっただけなのに。そんな演技させるつもりじゃなかったのに。
Damn, it's so frustrating for both of them. Oh.
私が間違ってたのかな。これじゃ私がただ出しゃばっただけじゃない。自分勝手でわがままで。
Are we acting or not acting? What is happening right now? I mean, like, they're in costume, so I guess we are acting, but it fits perfectly with what's happening
有馬のやつ
on the inside, too.
腹立つ演技してんな。自分が作品の質高めてるみたいな顔して。
Yeah, she makes it feel like, oh yes, I'm doing this because
私を見ろって顔してる時が一番輝いてるのに。有馬に勝ちたいって言うならこのままでいいけどな。
そういうのじゃないのわかるでしょ。
she wants her
私
to
が勝ちたい
shine.
のはそういうかなちゃんじゃない。
Yeah, she wants to fight the real her, the one she admires. So we're
だったら前に引きずり出すぞ。俺たちで。
okay. Let's go. I was really confused because they were still like in costume and I was not clear. Like obviously they were talking. She was talking about, you know, about what she did and she just did about like how it all turned out, like her acting. But I was like, okay, maybe somehow it's like weaved into the story that they're talking about something else, but it actually like they're talking about what just happened. But then Aqua came and then they actually talked about, you know, use the actual names of the actors, so like Kana. So I was like, okay, so we are like, this is behind the scenes. I mean, yeah, that was confusing. I think it was like on purpose though, because the scenery too, like it felt like it was. Maybe I imagined it. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't made very clear where she is, but I guess yeah, it doesn't look like a stage now that I look at it. It does look, I guess, kind of like behind, like the backstage. That was so beautiful. I loved how we thought that we thought that this was a rivalry, and it is, and it definitely is, but at the same time it comes out of like deep admiration. Akane doesn't hate Kana just or because she hurt her feelings or disillusioned her or something like that, which is what we thought it was. Because, you know, we got like this glimpse of this flashback and she was like talking, like thinking to herself, like when they were fighting in episode 4, I think, and they were talking about how she, you know, really admired Kana and then she saw her and then she met her and it sounded like, oh God, what did she do? Because we know she was like a very bratty person, and they were talking about how like Aqua at the time also said, oh my God, when I first met her I wanted to kill her, you know. We know she was hard to deal with, and so the immediate assumption was like, oh, Akane got burned by her, like she really admired her, met her in real life, was like really disgusted by the kind of person she was, and that was it. That was, you know, where the rivalry stemmed from. But it's a lot more, you know, complicated than that, like complex than that, because it doesn't come from misunderstanding. Like at the time, maybe I kind of didn't understand because she was too young, but then ever since then, she felt like she knew she wasn't understanding, like she knew she was missing something. And even at the time she could tell that, you know, Kana was very unhappy with what she was saying, but she didn't understand why she lashed out like that, or why she wouldn't let, you know, Akane like kind of see more into her or something. So I kind of like learned up on that, like really learned, like dug into psychology to really try to understand people as a whole. Like she, and that's kind of a thing that she, you know, started doing with everyone and everything that she tackles. That's kind of the thing that makes her tick at this point. And it came from here, pretty much. So the rivalry comes from understanding Kana, like not from misunderstanding her, but from understanding her very well and being very unhappy with what happened, you know, being very frustrated at the circumstances. And it's so interesting because all this time we heard Kana be like, you know, even in this season, we had Kana, you know, think about her past self and be like, oh God, you know, it's so terrible. I used to be so terrible. I have to be a different person. And she, you know, we know that she changed her entire personality and her way of just conducting herself. She was taught to be a lot smaller, just for the fact that, you know, people just didn't want anything to do with her anymore. And so there was nothing left of the little girl that she used to be, that didn't have all these inhibitions before she knew rejection to that degree, or was losing jobs. She didn't have anything to do. She was like chosen by default for, you know, for parts that were really unsatisfying, just because she was so desperate that, you know, at least they give her that part for sure, you know. It was so, like, it's so sad to think about it, that, you know, she used to get all the jobs she wanted and then suddenly it stopped, and she was blamed for it too, because of course you are, and as a child, and her attitude was blamed for it. So she was like, okay, I'm going to make myself different. I have to be different. And I mean, to some degree, I do understand. Like, I think from what I remember from season 1, we did get to like, it made sense for her to say like, oh, I learned my lesson, you know, I'm a lot less, you know, egoistic and stuff right now, you know, I'm a different kind of person. And it was shown to us like as her growth. But here we suddenly see it as like, no, you lost yourself. Akane was looking up to you, and she didn't see that the you that she admired so much. Akane is the fan of the girl that everyone rejected at some point. And like, in some way, Kana's worst nightmare is to bring her back. Like, it's because she's so afraid of the reaction she would get for it. She's so afraid of people telling her, oh wow, you're so selfish. You think so highly of yourself. You're trying to outshine everyone. I don't know, like pretty much Akane is doing, inspired by her. Like, and Akane is just trying to be like a mirror to show her, you know, this is how you act. This is how I know how to act, because I looked at you doing it, and I want you to do that again so we can actually like play on the same field. But she didn't get that, and instead she came across as like, oh, you know, look at my acting, kind of. And I kind of was like, I won't even, like, she was going to, though, kind of was like, okay, you know what, let's do it, you're on, you know. She was about to do it, and then she was reminded once of, you know, the little girl, that this is who she was. And then like, she failed so badly, and she was failed by everyone around her, and so she just couldn't do it. And the thing is that Kana, you know, kind of, she explains it to herself and to anyone else who would look on. She covers up this vulnerability, like this fear, by saying, oh no, I need to do this. Like, by doing this, I'm actually like, you know, helping the whole play as a whole. I'm not thinking only about myself. I'm not thinking only about my acting. I'm thinking about everyone, you know, everyone and the whole thing. And it's so like, it's so different than what she was. It's like the exact opposite. It's the exact thing that she taught herself to do, to be more considerate of everyone else. And while, you know, others might like you for that, or like as a whole, you know, it makes for a better maybe viewing experience as a whole for the whole stage play, it leaves you in the shadows. Like, we saw it literally happen. She took a step back, and so like, no one is going to point at Kana and be like, oh wow, look at her, like, you know, they're going to point at Akane, and that's what she wanted. And in a way, she's like not in a way, she's giving up on herself, and she's like, okay, you know what, I'm not even going to fight you on this. I can't, like she's so afraid of actually taking that step and actually like showing her worth and actually fighting like for real, you know, bringing her real self that she buried so deep out into the world again, that she's like, okay, you know what, I'm not even going to get into this competition with you. I'm just going to like let you have the spotlight. It's gonna be great and everyone's gonna look at you and admire you, and it won't be like a clash of egos or anything like that, and I will just like kind of fade into the background, but that's, you know, no one's gonna even notice, because that's the whole point. And but it was so sad to see it, like to see kind of just completely give up, just stop herself. And I kind of could see that, and she was so frustrated, and it's like exactly what she didn't want. And I don't know, it's really sad, because I mean, it was also really interesting how it was structured, because we had like, on the one hand we had Kana doing her thing with the other dude who plays Monme, whose name I can not remember, and did they even say his name in this episode? I don't know. If they did, I completely did not catch on that. He was talking about how, oh wow, look at her, she can act so well off of others, because she's so attuned to others, because ever since her childhood she just doesn't allow herself to just go for it. She's always like cautious, she's always like looking around being like, okay, how do I make this better? How do I, you know, make this better with my acting? Like, how do I fit my acting to what's in front of me, instead of like, you know, bring everything up to my acting, or not, or just like, you know, act full-heartedly and just let the others catch up however they can, you know? So like, we do see how it's good, how she's helping others, how others really can appreciate that. But it's always at the expense of herself. It's always at the expense of her spotlight, of her saying, you know, look at me, of her, you know, getting the attention. And so, you know, saying that it's good for the others is yes, but it's not worth it. And that's what Akane is trying to show her. And now Aqua is in on it. Aqua is just, honestly, all of this season, like, we barely even focused on it. No, we did focus on him when he was having his breakdown. But, you know, it kind of comes out of nowhere. It's like, let's do it. Like, we focus on Melt, then suddenly he's like, there, you could do it, or whatever. He, you know, he helps everyone. He just kind of comes in from the, I don't know, from the ether, and just to like, I don't know, dispense some advice or cheer people on, or I don't know, in his own very Aqua way, I guess. But it's just, it's so funny, because like, we barely focus on him, and then he's like, yeah, I'm the main character. Oh, I guess he is mostly the main character, I guess, but he's like, so I'm here to be in on everything and be like, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, fine though. I'm just, yeah, so far so good. I love it that they're like together in this, that they're like, okay, we're going to help Kana, we're going to force her to turn back into herself, you know, to accept herself fully. I mean, so sad. She's just making herself smaller and smaller and smaller. Her only moments to shine are when she's playing with people who, I mean, for instance, with Blade, I guess, or Himekawa. We saw how he helped her bring herself out of that shell, but only because she felt confident enough to do it, because his acting was so good in that moment, at least. Again, I'm not impressed by Blade, so I don't know what to tell you. But it's interesting that with the Kane, there was something about it that made her feel so threatened, that she just had to back away, because it was more personal there, like acting out like she did with Himekawa. Because with Himekawa, I guess it's like not a battle, it's just like they both kind of naturally just kind of act really well together. But with Akane, it's like, it's very directed, and it brings out like the worst fears in her, and she just couldn't do it. With Himekawa, she feels like he's supportive of her acting, that they can both kind of shine together. With Akane, it's like she forces her to bring out the best of herself, but like she has to like fight for it, you know, she has to really raise the stakes for herself, and she's too afraid to do that. And I think that kind of ties back to what I said, I think in episode, was it 2 or 3 or no 4, 5, I don't know. What episode are we on? Anyway, when the rivalry and everything, and I was talking about how it felt kind of, I don't think, maybe I didn't phrase it right, I probably didn't, but like I was talking about how it felt kind of bad that Kana could only play well when Himekawa was there, because he could bring it out of her or something. And I think that that's what I mean. It's not that Kana isn't capable of acting well, but it's more that she doesn't allow herself. And so she needs someone like Himekawa to be there and to kind of be like, okay, you can act well with me, you know? It's like this crutch that she needs, and it holds her back because she can't just let herself be herself and act her own way no matter who it is with her. She's very like hemmed in by the actors around her. She's very hemmed in by the circumstances. She can't let herself fly, you know? And that's what Akane wants. And Aqua too, apparently. It's just like, yeah, why not? Yeah, let's do it. So anyway, I love that, you know, it was this rivalry over Aqua, over the acting, over whatever, but it's actually like, it is a rivalry because Akane does want to fight her, but she wants to fight her in the acting sense. But she wants it to be like a real, like, you know, when they both show the real strength. It's like when, you know, you have like shonen anime and don't hold back on me and stuff. Like, you know, I want to fight you for real and stuff like that. Yeah. So basically, yeah. And also from Kana's point of view, oh, you know, Akane is judging me and she thinks my acting is so bad and I don't even know why she hits me so much or my acting, and she feels like so, like she never thinks that Akane is like on her side in some way, or at least on the side of the little girl that she was. Like in a way, Akane is definitely against who she is right now. So of course she feels like attacked and stuff. You know, she said, I think episode 5 and the rivalry episode, she said that, yeah, she really believed in her way of acting and she, you know, was never going to back down and stuff like that. But now we see it in a very different light. Like it's kind of a way of acting that she adopted for herself. It was kind of shaped and molded by her environment and her fears rather than, you know, a belief in that way of acting. Like I don't know if like the ideal result would be for her to just completely, you know, be able to let herself like really shine and kind of go back to who she was, and in a way admit defeat to Akane, but also not, because she would actually be finally, you know, embracing herself and finally going all the way with it. It's interesting. But in any case, I loved this episode. It was so great. I love that the rivalry turned into something not just like, oh, we don't like each other, we hurt each other. It's a lot deeper than that, and like it comes from, you know, it doesn't come from hate at all. And it kind of does, but not really. Like it's not like Akane hates Kana for who she is. She just hates what was done to her and what she's perpetuating, you know, because of her fears and stuff. Anyway, I love that. and this was a great episode, and I hope you guys enjoy this reaction. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Special thanks to my top patrons: Redding Tier, Andy Plays All Night, Stone Tree, Tyranor, Michael Gabriel, and Shakugan. And to the rest of my amazing patrons, without whose support I would never be able to do any of this. Thank you so much.